Now I didn't know about her condition, but I was trying to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is after a month, I called her. It was on a Saturday morning. She told me, no, I'm somewhere where I eat fish and rice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. You invite me one
day.
One day.
Yeah.
I didn't know they eat fish in during after dialysis.
Let me come in there.
Okay.
You remember I had been told to start dialysis?
Yes.
Now, the reason I mentioned about the place I'm working right now is because of this boss of mine, the one who called me to scold me.
Yeah.
In 2011, I started getting. You remember when I got employed, it was a miracle job because so I was covered and all that, by insurance and all that.
Yes.
I started now visiting my clinics. It turned out that I had to start dialysis because my body was deteriorating and deteriorating fast. So 2011, I told my parents and they decided to do a fundraising, which we did, and I started dialysis in Nairobi Hospital. But then my boss again talked to his colleagues, the management, and they started paying for me dialysis.
Wow.
And I've been dialyzing up to date.
Wow.
But they have been catering for that.
Till date.
Until 2014, when NHF 2016. When 2016,
Yes.
when NHF came through for us,
Okay.
because they paid for us.
Oh.
All that time, the company had been paying for us. So after dialysis, or before you start dialysis, we were fed, and that is why we were having the fish. They used to make very nice fish and rice. That's what I was telling him about.
So at this point, you had not told him about your condition,
No.
so you were trying to mask
But I
it.
remember now,
Yeah.
there's a day he came to church. That time I'd moved from Winners Chapel, Nairobi, to Kikuyu. There's no Winners Chapel in Kikuyu, but I looked for a church that had doctrines close to
Winners Chapel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was Faith Assemblies in Kikuyu,
Okay.
which I joined, and I was a deacon. And as I was serving there, that is actually now the ordination I had.
That he came to.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I realized that I'm getting attached. So one day when I was escorting him, he'd come to that church again.
Wow.
When I was escorting him, we go somewhere and I told him I have to go back for that cleaning. Because we used to clean the church and all that. I told him, listen, I am hypertensive,
Wow.
I have kidney failure, and I cannot give you a baby. Is there anything else I told you?
Are you serious? You told
And
him
you
all
got
that
a
at
stroke.
once.
I mean, you got a stroke and it's due so many things.
And
Because-
Are you serious?
yes,
Why did you get
because
this
I did-
confidence to do
in my
that?
mind, I don't want to get married because I cannot give him, So I had to put everything in one plate
Wow.
and serve him,
Yeah.
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 Then he looked at me and said, God can heal you.
What?
That was hard on me.
Wow.
So
Wow.
actually, that shut me up.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he said, but in
But
my
you
mind, I
remember
was,
God can heal you.
Yes.
Yes.
even when he left and I went to church, all I was asking myself was, God, who is this man?
Oh.
Who is this man?
Yeah.
Nobody has told me that before. Who is this man?
Wow.
And
we started dating.
No,
But
wait,
that-
when she told you that, how did you react? Honestly.
That's the only thing came out from my mouth. God
Wow.
can heal you.
Wow.
Because that time I used to go to. I'm a Catholic. I used
Yeah.
to go to Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing. What do you call them? I was going to classes, Catholic. So I was going to be a deacon.
Mm-hmm.
So I did for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and people were telling me, yeah, why don't you go to become a father?
Oh.
Yeah, so I was father, and let me just say where I am
Yeah.
until something will come up.
Yes.
But when she gave me that, so I was okay. God can heal you.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry
Mm-hmm.
about your life. So people change their lives.
Wow.
So the minute she told me that,
Uh-huh.
we were somewhere between the stage
Uh-huh.
and the church.
Mm-hmm.
So she had escorted me,
Mm-hmm.
and we reached a few meters to the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt so sad. So I had to push her back to the church. So I escorted her back. She had escorted me, so I escorted her back to the church.
Yeah.
So, and then I told her, now I will talk with through the phone. Okay, she said, okay. So after, in the evening, she called, and I told her, let me call you. Hang up, and then I called her. And we talked, and we keep talking in the phone every more than 2 weeks. And now she invited me to go to see her where she goes to the dialysis. That's on Nairobi Hospital. I've never seen those things. So I was just like shocked. Do they put these pipes all over? But it was something new in my mind. So when I went back home, I started Googling those machines, how they operate, and how doctors put those things. So even right now, the nurses there, they call me a doctor because I know everything. It's only the connection I don't know about it. So it began there. So we started dating. We got married. Started living together, and we decided. See, there's a day we started talking about children, and we said, if we can't get children, both of us, let's have fun. Let's this life.
Live your best life.
Let's live this life the best and the fullest. So every time we get any coin in our pockets, we just go and treat ourselves. On Sunday we go and do anything, after church. So it came in 2017 January. She started throwing up. So I was thinking, because people in dialysis, they usually, when they get urea, when they eat red meat, they usually started reacting, vomiting. And it was on a morning, she started vomiting. So I told her, that's urea. And after dialysis, you will not eat meat. The next day, the same. We had to call the nephrologist. Told us, when was your last dialysis? In fact, it was on Tuesday. So we called him on Thursday. We told him the next will be on Saturday. We stop this red meat and proteins. We see how it will go. Okay, it is not stopping. So after a week we said, we have to do something. And then she told me, I'm not feeling well. I told her, maybe you're pregnant.
Wow.
We said, we can't be. So we went, in fact, I went and bought that test. I didn't know how much it was. So I gave the chemist lady 1,000. She gave me 950. How much? It's 50 shillings. Hey, it's cheap. So I'm thinking it's maybe 1,000.
It's expensive,
So the time we came to test it was
positive.
Wow.
So we were shocked.
And at this point, it was not at the top of your mind that you could ever get pregnant.
Exactly.
So many people have told you it's impossible. I'm sure even doctors were telling you that's not.
Even my doctor had told me.
Exactly, that's not a place to go. So, just tell us, how was your reaction?
It was a shocking, but I felt something. Something emotional came into me. So I just, this is God. This is God. We started preparing now. We have to go and see the doctor. First of all, we booked an appointment with the nephrologist. And we went to see the nephrologist. He told us, is it true? Yes, it's true. And we tested it. It is positive. Okay. And need you to go, where are you going? You're going to the dialysis. That day she was scheduled for dialysis. So we went to I told her, the doctor told us that you have to do another test from the hospital so we can confirm.
A scan, actually.
In fact, do a scan so we can now confirm. I told the doctor, now today she's scheduled for a dialysis. After dialysis, we'll do that scan. So I took her to the Nairobi hospital for dialysis, and then we did a scan. I took the results. the nephrologist called me, bring those results yourself.
Okay.
So I went to the nephrologist. He told me, okay, sit, have a seat, young man. Now, she's pregnant, yes, but there are conditions. Do you know that she has kidney failure? Yes, I know everything. Now, there are challenges of this pregnancy because the kidneys cannot sustain 2 people.
Yes.
Even herself, they can't sustain 1 person.
Yes.
Now, adding another one, it is lethal.
Yeah.
So at that time, I was saying, okay, what shall we do? I think the best thing is to terminate.
Oh no.
Okay, termination. Yes. Okay. Because she might go someplace after the baby is growing, they might all go. Or maybe one, okay,
One will survive,
yeah.
one, yeah. It was a gamble.
It is a challenge.
Yeah.
So I told her, let us think about it. Don't think about it. React quickly and go and talk to her. So we talked. Nyambura told me something. My baby, no one will be touching my baby.
Wow.
This is my baby.
That was actually when we had gone to see him, the doctor now, he was suggesting that we go the termination
Yes.
way. But I remember he told us he gave us so many reasons. But because
Yeah.
there's several that he didn't tell me. That is why he wanted my husband to return.
Okay.
So when I closed that door, I told my husband, nobody is touching my baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The
So-
heart of a mother.
So after that, we decided to move on. We told the doctor we are going through with this, and we want you on board. Okay, I'll support wherever I can, but I need you to come to my clinic in Kenyatta, and we shall discuss. I'll have to talk to a few people. So when we went to Kenyatta, the following day, in the afternoon, we went to Kenyatta on the following day, Doctor's Plaza.
Yeah.
He told us, good, you're here, but I'll not keep you. There's a gynecologist, my friend. Go to room 1, you'll find him there. So he went back to room 1. We found a doctor, a very, very good gynecologist. He told us, oh, I heard your story, and this is not the first. We have done so many.
Wow.
So many of these things.
Yes.
Even now we are not in this. We are going for the tube ones.
Yes.
So this one is no old school. We have done so many.
Yeah.
So we decided, well, we were given encouragement and hope.
Yeah.
So it was a journey. We did it was 7 months. It was a lot of hospitals here and there. Really, because we used to go to twice for scan in the clinic, twice a month.
Wow.
And we had to see the nephrologist thrice a month because of the drugs, the hypertensive drugs.
Yes.
There are so many, they keep changing them, what. So it was a lot of, what can you call it?
Back and forth.
Back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So back then, later on we realized the gynecologist, this is the first case. He has never done anything.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wait,
Even-
that's actually a man sent by God. He was just trying to
encourage us.
encourage
What?
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So deep down, he was probably going through so much anxiety.
I know.
But he
Yes.
couldn't show that to you.
'Cause-
Wow.
Because even some of the scans,
Yeah.
he will tell us, don't pay.
Oh.
I'm doing
There's
this
so many.
for free.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, today
Wow.
you're not paying, you'll pay next week. Next week when we come, just pay once. Next week, it was...
Wow.
So it was, okay,
Wow.
it was he was a
He
He
was
was a nice guy.
he really helped us to get through.
yes.
Yeah,
Because
because
we
I
were-
remember there are even doctors who had sent a nurse friend of mine there to tell us to terminate. Because actually it was they knew what they were talking about, but then there's a God above. Because that thing was supposed to either take my life or take our life, me and my daughter. You know?
What?
Yeah.
So this was the part, I think for you too, this was the part where you were dealt a fair share of lemons. I mean, being told a point where you never thought you could be a mom, and now you have a baby growing inside you, and doctors are even telling you, you know what, this is not possible.
Exactly.
So that must have been one of the darkest moments of your life.
It was, but then there's something that I love about my husband, that he never at any one time showed any negativity.
Oh.
You know, and I used to have a lot of challenges. Like the times we could sleep and I'm like, I can't breathe, and we would have the windows open. He's feeling cold, but me, I can't breathe. There's no air all the way. You know, a lot of challenges. The times I could throw up in the night. You know, a lot of challenges. But he stood with me throughout. He stood with me.
I think this is a reminder that good men are out there. I think many people have been through, and when you hear women's stories, it's not because they're trying to be negative, it's just their own experiences.
Very true.
So when I hear such a beautiful story, it just encourages me and encourages everyone out there that, you know what, there are good people out here, there are good men. No matter what you hear, well, people will say all sorts of things, but this is evidence that there are good men out there. That reminder that, as in, you could be out there and you're struggling and you probably don't believe in relationships, you don't believe in marriage, but their story should encourage you and remind you every day that good men exist. So you're saying it was a challenging time when you were pregnant, you would even puke at night. And what was your lowest moment while you were on this journey?
The lowest moment was when we went to the hospital, and of course I used to still go for my 3 dialysis sessions. So there's a time I was in the hospital, and the renal unit would come with a machine to get the motions of the baby, the heartbeat and all that. But this time the baby was just quiet.
Oh my God.
Completely quiet.
Okay.
And of course, you know what I thought.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So that was my lowest. But he was still there for me. He never let me go to that dialysis once without him. And he would sit there for 4 hours.
Wow.
You know? So he's the one who actually, I would say he's God sent, because he gave me that courage to go on. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So at this point, I remember reading on your Facebook page, because you really encourage many women out there. She's called Nyambura Liz on Facebook, in case you want to read her story, more of her story. So I remember reading once, and you were saying the way, now after the baby was 7 months old, and you were told now it's time. Because normally a normal pregnancy goes up to 9 months, some even 10 months actually. So how was that for you? And were you scared that probably the baby would not make it? And how did you manage to get from that point to have this beautiful girl that you have in your house right now?
Wow. That, I remember we did have, the insurance we had was for one person. That was for me, right? And it covered me 500,000 for inpatient. And now my baby, I was approximating that she would be in the incubator for about a month or something. But now this is the 7th month. She has to be in the incubator for 3 months. It turned out to be 3.5 months, and we don't have any money. So my husband was really objecting. And I remember my BPs went as high as when Juma said
No, that then it was 270 over 182. What?
Yeah. So it was either going to take me or take my baby.
And
at this point the baby is still inside your belly?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So we called, I think, who called the doctor? Who called?
The renal.
The renal unit called my gyna, and he said I have to be admitted. So my husband doesn't want me to be admitted because he don't have the funds. The insurance refused to cover us.
When they called the insurance people, they said, no, we are covering only 100. And the hospital is insisting that she's not going home.
Yes.
So I had to go and look for something.
Yeah.
So then
when I'm looking for something, them they are busy
admitting
and doing everything.
Yeah.
When I came back to the Reno, they handed me a file. Now this is a file. We have admitted her.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is your place to fill now. Your next of kin.
Yes.
And I said, okay, let it flow. So she was admitted that night. And then the gyna came. And there were so many doctors in that room. It was like, what's going on here? We should give her space or something. No, we are trying to monitor her because of the baby. So when the gyna came, I asked him, the room is full. He told me, yes. Right now, we're trying to trying to stabilize her BP
Yes.
because of the baby.
Yeah.
And you know the amniotic fluid, it's glowing, it's going low.
It was going down actually.
So
Wow.
they had to give her drips, drugs,
Yeah.
some kind of drugs, even I can't remember them.
Yeah.
And after 5 hours or so, the BP started stabilizing.
Yeah.
So they say now it's actually good. Now we can inject a sterilizer for the baby to grow her lungs.
Steroids again.
Steroids, yeah.
yeah.
So the baby can grow the lungs very fast. So they did that around 8 in the evening, and they told me we'll do another one tomorrow morning because we want those lungs when the baby is coming to breathe on her own.
Yeah.
And they keep doing scans after every 30 minutes, scans. So I was wondering in myself, wow, no, this baby
I
will be
know.
coming with a
Yeah.
briefcase.
Yeah.
And
And you did.
Yeah.
okay, and no, the nurses were telling me, okay, don't worry, this is something, it will be done. So they go home, relax your mind,
Yeah.
come tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, I went home, but I didn't get to sleep. I was not sleeping, I was just sitting. So the next morning, I woke up early to the hospital. And they told me, wow, I was there at 7. This is not time to come, my friend. We open here for visitors at 11. And I told them, me, I'm not a visitor. I'm not a visitor
Yeah.
here. We have an emergency there. Where?
Yeah.
So come in. So I just lied my way through.
Yeah.
So I entered in labor ward.
Yes.
And unfortunately, after 10 minutes, the doctors came. The gynecologist, the pediatrician, and the surgeons,
Yeah.
and the nephrologists.
Yes.
They came, they talked to me, and they said, because her BP has stabilized, what we'll do another scan at around in the afternoon, and there's a doctor, a cardiologist will come and see her, but we have changed the doctors. The gynecologist told me that we have changed the doctors. Now this one will be the anesthesia, and what do you call her? Kasheri?
Pediatrician.
Pediatrician.
Okay.
Those two we have just changed, but they are good in their work.
Okay.
And they told me today I think it will be good to go. After the scan, after we see the scan in the afternoon, we'll tell you. So we went, and they called me outside her room. They told me, keep her encouraged, don't let those pressure go up.
Yeah.
Maintain them. You're the one now to maintain those pressures down.
Yes.
We want you to go back there. And I told them, no, I can't go back there because the nurses are throwing me. Who's throwing you outside? No, this is an emergency. You stay there. Nurses, they told the matron of the ward,
Yes.
he's supposed to stay here because there's something we want her to do for us.
Yeah.
And they told me, today, that baby will be removed today because we don't want to risk. So I went back to the room, we started laughing, we started talking stories.
Yeah.
What? The time came for scan. Even they did a scan when I was there. They did an echo when I was there of the heart. They told me everything is good.
Wow.
So around 4, they came prepared with gumboots, I don't know. And then they gave me a form
Yeah.
to fill. I'm just alone, I don't know, even I'm just alone. And they told me, no, there are forms that you need to fill because you're doing a surgery. And you fill this and you give them to the doctor, and then they'll sign.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I called her cousin. She told me that she'll be coming after work. So when around 6:30 they took Nyambura to the surgery theater. Taking her to the theater, and then her cousin came. We sat there for maybe an hour and a half. I was curious, why is it you have to
Taking
stay
that
there?
long,
It's
yeah.
taking long.
Yeah.
So I went to the reception of the labor ward. I asked, excuse me, have you had any news about Nyambura? No, there was a doctor here. Told me, Nyambura, yes, Oh, you know them? Yes, yeah. She was finished long time ago. If then there was a nurse and a guy with an oxygen tank, and a nurse holding some
A little baby.
a little baby. They told me, even this one, wait, excuse me,
That's her.
is this Nyambura? Yes. Oh, this is your baby then.
Aww.
So that was the first time to see our daughter.
Wow.
So I went.
You saw her. I never saw her.
I went, that was my first time.
Yeah.
So the nurse told me we can go to the what do you call Nico, the baby where they are kept and
Neonatal.
Yeah. Intensive care. Yeah.
So we went to that place and then they started preparing the game. They told me, give us few minutes, we prepare, you go and admit her, and then you bring that form to us. That's what I did. At the time I was bringing that form, so I just came out. She was connected with so many pipes. I was wondering, what's wrong? They told me this is a must because she has to be on oxygen and monitors.
Yeah.
Okay. So I came back to look for Nyambura. They told me she's in the recovery room. So I told her cousin, let's go. You know where it is? Yes. We went, I just opened the door of recovery room, I entered. They told me, excuse me, so you go and change? I told them,
They
I'm not
thought
a
she's
staff.
staff.
What you have contaminated the whole area.
Yeah.
Visitors are not allowed here. Just go out. And then I was curious to
see how she was doing. Yeah.
And then they came out, two guys. They told me we called the maternity wing to come and take her to the ward. Now we wait. When they are coming here, we'll go with her to the ward. So when after a few minutes, around 50 minutes, she was taken to the ward. Even she didn't know, she didn't recognize anyone. She was drunk.
The anesthesia. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah. Because
Yes.
it was a full one.
Oh,
Not
yes.
half, yeah.
Okay.
It was she was confused when even she was taken to the ward. She was just sleeping. We told the nurse we'll come back tomorrow, but when she wakes up, tell her baby is good, she's fine.
Yeah.
So the next day when we came, the first I reported to the baby first. I saw her, she's breathing okay, she's okay, but a lot of pipes. And then I came her to the ward. She was okay now, she was at least awake, eating something. Yes. So it was a challenge, but I thank God that we made it.
Wow.
No, she stayed in the incubator for 3.5 months. And the bill was what was the bill?
The bill was 3.9.
Wow.
3.9.
And at this point, your
And
insurance is
it's
not even covering anything.
It's not covering anything.
The 100 they promised us.
They never
didn't.
give us.
They gave
They give us
for
40,000.
Sad story.
45,000.
Yeah.
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 So that was a challenge. And we did a fundraising and managed to raise the money.
Wow. All of it.
No.
Uh-huh.
Of it.
How much
I
did you
think half of
want?
it.
Okay.
I think half of it. We still keep on paying the bill little by little. And here we are.
Wow.
Then, when she was discharged, I had gone back to work. Actually, I remember when she was there, that is the one who used to take the milk, because we used to express.
Yes.
So he used to take the milk every morning, and I would only see her the days I'm going for dialysis, because I also needed to heal. Anyway, she was discharged and came home, and Daddy said, I'm not going to employ anybody for her. I'll stop what I'm doing to take care of her.
What?
So for a whole year, he's the one who took care of her.
Wow.
In fact, even to date, they are tight like this.
Aww.
There are times we would walk in together and she would not run towards me,
Yeah.
but to the daddy.
Yeah.
But they really bonded.
Wow.
Because she was born at 940 grams and lost to 660 grams, you know. So he didn't want anybody trying to, you know, he decided to take care of her.
Yeah.
So I'd go to work, they would come and pick me,
Oh.
he and the daughter, and then, you know, it was, yes, they really bonded. Then, was it, when did she get pneumonia? We employed a lady.
Last year, March.
last year March
2019.
2019.
Yes.
Yes.
2019.
Yes. We didn't want to expose her, so we were only taking her out to get sun, whatever, and then we'll take her back
From the house,
But then he went back to his duties, and we employed a lady who would walk with her all over,
my God.
and she came down with pneumonia,
Okay.
and who would get admitted with her. Just that, because
Yeah.
I'm going for dialysis.
Yes.
Personally, I'm not able to handle her like he does.
can, yeah.
You know, I'm limited in several things.
Yeah.
So he's the one who got admitted with her.
Wow.
You know, and that was how many weeks did you stay there?
Yeah, I think 17 days.
17
What?
days.
17 days.
And now on top of the other bill, another came. You know,
Wait,
but
This
this
is
time,
Nairobi Hospital.
yes, Nairobi Hospital.
You must have had so much favor because I hear horror stories of people who are not even attended to because they don't have
a
money.
God above.
What?
There's a God
Wow.
above.
Wow.
But this time, at least she got covered, and it got covered also.
Okay.
So, but they didn't pay for the whole cost. Because did we do another fundraising?
No. But the pneumonia, during the pneumonia time, we got covered by the insurance, the whole cost.
Wow.
And after that, you know, the nephrologist told us after she delivers, she might have complication with the bones because of the calcium.
Oh, okay.
So after last year, she started having complication with the body. She started feeling pain towards the chest, the back, the legs, everywhere. So we keep, last year it was on and off
Hospital, yes.
Until she was, started feeling pain. It was on, I think on Wednesday.
Sometimes June.
Yeah,
In
June.
Yeah.
June 21st. We went to the hospital. We called
Nephro.
no, not nephro, they called cardiologists. We called them and they told us, we gave them the results we had done previous day. They told me that is serious. Go to the hospital, the casualty, and we have called them. So, okay. Yeah, me, I was just thinking it's the kawaida.
Yeah.
So when I went there, she was rushed. It's like an emergency. So before I parked the car and entered the hospital, I could not find her.
Yeah.
So I just, why is she? So when they direct me to her room,
Yeah.
and I saw
The casualty?
the
Yes.
casualty. When I went there, so many doctors, nurses, they told me it may be a heart attack.
What?
Heart attack? How? It's normal. He told me those results shows that any time right now
Oh my
she might
God.
be having heart attack. So okay, is it treatable? Yes.
Wow.
So they took samples of blood. What? Now another doctor came. Now the doctor we called, it's called karaoke, Dr. Karaoke, but he sent a senior doctor. Now she told me, no, right now we have to admit her because there's something wrong with her heart. It's not a normal now. We have to admit her. But I told her, now we have exhausted the card,
Yes.
the
Insurance,
card,
yes.
because she get covered twice, the renal and this general.
Yes.
No, she told me no. If she's exhausted the renal card, we'll do this other side general.
General, yeah.
Okay, because now it's the heart. The insurance agreed. She was admitted. After 3 days, they took blood culture, by the way, that day. They told me now we have to look for what is in the heart. We have to take culture after every 1 hour. Samples of blood, okay. And she was taken to the ward. I left there around 10. She was okay. No, Saturday morning when I was coming to see her, around 10, I could not find her in the ward. I asked the nurses, I think she's in the bathroom, but I don't know. Check with the senior nurse. I checked with the senior nurse. She's coming. I sat there for maybe 20 minutes. I was not comfortable.
Yes.
So I went to the office
Yeah.
of the ward. Have you seen a patient by the name Elizabeth? Yes. in fact, she was taken to the ICU.
What?
ICU, what? No one told us.
Yeah.
And we have the next of kin contact. So I
Yes.
was angry that day.
Yeah.
I went direct to the ICU.
Mm-hmm.
I just barged in. Even the watchman started following me. No, you can't come here. No one is informing me what is going
What
on.
is going on? Yeah.
So they had to call the doctor,
Yeah.
Charles Karaoke.
Yeah.
Charles Karaoke now called me. Now he explained everything.
Uh-huh.
And then he told me, you do this when in the afternoon when you have time,
Uh-huh.
come to my office
So that you talk.
so that you
Yeah.
can talk.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time that time. So the next day, that's the day I went to the office. Now he explained to me he has a bacteria growing in her valve, a right valve.
Wow.
It is called endoscondite.
Endocardiosis.
It's a hard name.
Yeah.
And they told me that that valve is destroyed. It has a hole. So now she has a backflow of the blood.
Okay.
So once the blood is pumped, instead of moving up,
Okay.
it will go back to the heart.
Because it's not shutting the normal.
It wasn't shutting.
Ah, I get you. Okay. Okay.
So she was admitted in ICU. She was very down. Admitted in ICU for around 3 weeks. And then the doctor told me now she can go to her medicine at home. She'll be recovering at home. But today she'll be done dialysis. There will be dialysis for her today. After dialysis, we can discharge her. So she was done the normal dialysis. They used to go for the speed of 250 to 80. That day they did 290. They didn't. The nurses there, I didn't know what they did, but they didn't realize her blood level because her blood was 6.8, and the speeds, and then the valve, not the valve, the blood started reducing from her brain.
Okay.
After dialysis, she could not talk.
What?
She was down. She was taken to the ward. She was even not talking, not doing anything, not moving. And they did, they checked her blood pressure. I remember it was 61 over 19. Wow.
That's extremely low.
Yes.
19.
And she was not talking. The doctors, they called the nephrologist. They told the condition, no, give her water. Give her water. She's not taking water, not tea. She was those things, those horror things people say when they are going.
Wobbling, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were like, she was not talking. You couldn't understand what she was saying.
Hallucinating or something.
Yes,
Okay.
even everyone, because
Wow.
the dad was there, the mom,
Oh my god.
so many people,
Yes.
because they're waiting for a discharge. Even the dad said, hey,
The girl is not. The girl is
there's
gone.
no one.
Are you serious? Are you
And
serious?
then
My dad.
they left.
What?
And my
was-
sister, I remember my sister telling God, God, if I'm the one who's holding her with prayers, I've released her. I mean, I was
Oh
at
my
that,
goodness.
yeah,
Even the
I'm
brother,
even getting chills right now. That's,
Yes.
that's last year. What month?
August.
August.
not yes, in August.
What?
And the my cousins and my sisters who were there,
Were
they started-
outside crying.
they were started crying.
Oh my
So I was
God.
wondering now.
And then there were nurses who were telling him, Pole,
What?
knowing that I'm gone now.
Oh my god.
So everybody was telling me, "Actually, sorry, Kipole, pole."
Oh no.
A
And,
friend of mine would come to visit me, ran away. I've never seen her to date, you know.
Are you serious?
We only talk on phone. She didn't want to see that scene again, you
Oh
know.
my god.
But yeah, I mean, it was disastrous.
Even there was a pastor there.
There
Came
was a
to
person
pray.
there.
Wait
even
a
the-
minute.
the
Everyone
prayers-
had lost hope.
Even the prayers got
Everybody-
lost from that
He
pastor.
never prayed.
He told us what I was coming to pray. What am I praying?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Maybe I pray for a farewell.
Yeah. Everybody had given, and there were more than 10 people,
Oh my
and
God.
none
Even
of
your
them
own
had.
parents actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember, of course, my mind was still
Functional.
functioning,
Yes.
but I couldn't talk.
Yes.
I was asking myself, now what's killing me? And of course, there's a voice telling you sin, you know? Then I remember saying, but Jesus, you said you carried my sins.
Oh.
And at that point, I think is when, I don't know what you gave me.
Water. I was told to give you water.
So for you had
by
not
force.
given up.
Yes, me, I'm not giving up. So I gave her water by force. Unfortunately, the ICU guys came rushing. They took her to the ICU, and the nephrologist, the doctor, came rushing. They gave her some fluids through the drip and medicine. And they told me, no, the only thing we have to do is to wait for those fluids to react. It's the blood flow, which is very low. Now the oxygen is not getting the blood and the air.
The brain.
Yeah, the brain. Now, after that, we have to do the CT scan to check whether it has been damaged.
Because when there is no air in the whatever,
brain,
you get
Yeah.
brain damage.
Yeah.
But the CT scan will not be done tonight because it was around 11 in the evening. Because she was supposed to be discharged at around 5.
Yeah.
So everybody was there coming to go home.
Yeah.
So it was turned up to, we have to readmit her again.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
And yet we had
A bill.
which we had consulted with the credit control there. And they told us, because now you have placed your title, you go and do your fundraising, you come and collect your title. Now we had to readmit her, we don't have money. They told us we have to pay 100K for her to be admitted. So they had to call the senior credit control. They had, no, she has not gone home yet. What's going on? Okay, admit her.
Wow.
Grace
Favor.
of
Yeah,
God, favor.
that was a favor. Even I told
Wow.
him that was something.
That's Jesus, yeah.
Yes. So the next day they did a CT scan. They found only the previous stroke into O2. Nothing
There was
damaged.
no brain
What?
damage.
The nephrologist said that we have to give her 4 pints of blood
Yes.
during dialysis. No, she has to do dialysis for the whole day for that blood to be clean and to what. It was on a Friday that time. On Saturday when I came, she was laughing.
Are you serious?
Yes.
And when people thought the battle was lost.
Yes.
Okay, or completely.
She was okay. Even the nephrologist told me, now what will I do? We'll monitor her today here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning will be on Sunday. We'll take her to the wards. If she is good, we are good to go now home. She was okay. Even when she went to the wards, even the nurses, even today, they don't believe. They call her a miracle.
Yeah.
This God you're praising must be alive.
He
Even-
is a true God and he does what he says. Only believe. That's what I say. The only thing we need to do is believe.
Yes.
Because actually after I was discharged, I needed to get a surgery like immediately. Actually that was September. We were supposed to get funds and we get the surgery of the heart immediately because you heard him say that
There
I
was
had
a
a
hole.
hole.
Yes.
To date, I've not had that surgery.
No, wait a minute.
I
So
don't take any hypertensive medicine
no,
at all.
you are not serious.
I don't. And
this is a person who had hypertension to a point where
Yes.
her blood pressure was getting to 270 over
Over
180.
180.
The normal blood pressure should be between, it's usually 120 over 80. Can you imagine this is almost double? What? And you've not taken any medicine
I've
since
not
September?
taken not since September, since August.
From August, yeah.
From August.
Last year.
And the doctors were saying that I need to go for the heart surgery immediately. Of course, you want to listen to the doctor,
course, yes.
but you're praying to your God and
Oh.
you're telling him A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And we've been praying together with this man all through.
Wow.
And I remember at some point we had to get some money for that surgery. It brought a lot of complication even within the family, but then we decided we were going to do it together, just me and him. When that time came, what happened that we didn't do last year?
Funds. It
Yeah.
delayed the funds.
Wow.
So we got the funds this year. We scheduled for a surgery.
And when we were, guess what happened? Corona came up. And
So-
somehow I'm able
What?
to do little things here and there.
What?
You know, I'm able to cook for my family.
Are you serious?
Yes. I've not gone for any surgery. And here I am.
You've not taken any medicine?
I'm not taking any. I don't.
Hypertensive?
I don't. My BP is last 104 over.
104 over 34.
What?
Yeah. Well, that's a little
Oh my
lower
God.
because of the
Yes.
diastolic side.
Yes.
It's supposed to be at least above 60.
Yes.
It's a bit lower, but still, I'm able to operate. I'm able to, God, I tell people, have you heard of people getting children without a womb? That's the miracle God is doing to me. Because my BPs are quite low, but I'm able to do anything.
You can play with your child.
I can play with my child.
Wow.
In fact, she should be up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll show a video of her.
Yeah.
And I really just want people to see how when they see her, they always remember that indeed there is a God in heaven.
Yeah.
And I think your story is... It's a very different story. I don't think I've had a story like this before in my life. Even the videos I've watched online, that's why I said this show is about bringing out those stories that people never get to hear. I think your story can change someone out there, someone who's struggling with hopelessness. Right now we're going through so many seasons where people are depressed because they don't have jobs. You hear a miracle where she got a job from somewhere she had not even applied.
Yeah.
People are struggling with terminal illnesses such as cancer, diabetes, hypertension. This is a story of a lady who believed in her God, who said that no matter the lemons life throws at me, I will always be positive. I think it always reminds us that as long as you have a strong support system like her husband, you can get through anything.
Exactly.
As long as you believe, you can get through anything. And even as we conclude, because I know we can talk days and days, because your story is a beautiful one. I'd want both of you to tell the people watching this video, what is it that you kept holding on to? If it's a Bible verse, if it's a quote you live by, but what is it, Liz, that keeps you going every single day of your life? What is it that makes you smile? Because you're always smiling. Like I keep telling people that she's that lady who will always smile. No, every time I meet you, you're always smiling. Even when you're going through the worst, even when I came to see you in hospital, because I remember when she was going through the hard moment in August last year, I went to visit her, and she was just there, the normal Liz. At that point, it hadn't gotten to that point, and you were very happy, and you were just trying to keep pushing, even when things were so hard. What keeps you going, even as we conclude? What is it that you can tell someone out there? What is that mantra you live by?
I love my word. The word of God keeps me going on. But there's something I want to tell people. There are times you don't even want to see that Bible. But always have something that you look back and see and say, surely God came through for me.
Wow.
I remember this leg almost killed me. In fact, I went to Kenyatta several times and they could not see a thing. And they used to tell me that I'm imagining things. Then I remember there's a Chinese doctor I was seeing who wanted to take advantage of me. So I took those drugs and I threw them away. And I told God, you said in your word that long life is my heritage.
Amen.
But dying at the age of 26, and I want to come and ask you a question. Why have I died young? I cannot tell you how this leg got healed. That is one thing that I hang on to. That God healed me miraculously in such a way that I didn't even realize until I was like, hiya.
It's
my
back.
leg got, yeah.
Wow.
So always have something that you look back to and you're like, this must have been God. Because I know beyond any reasonable doubt that was God that healed my leg.
So at the end of the day, it's the word that you live by.
Yes.
His word
It's
that
the word.
you are, with long life, he'll satisfy you.
With long life, he will satisfy you.
Actually, one of my best verses in the Bible is
Yes.
Psalms 91, verse 16. And it speaks about with long life, he will satisfy you and he will show you his salvation.
Yes.
So as she's told you, always remember, even when you're going through the worst of moments, cling on to that word.
Yes.
And God will do it for you. Wow. And what word would you give the people who are watching this? Especially as a caregiver.
I'll tell them to have hope in their lives. And everything. They give thanks. No matter what it is, how difficult it is, or how good it is. Always give thanks to the Lord. And I always keep in my mind a verse in the Bible, Philippians 3:14. I always push forward for my crown, which is in heaven.
Wow.
So I always push forward, no matter what is in front of me. I'll break through.
Amen.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you all for watching today's show. I mean, it was a beautiful show. There were moments where I was just trying to fight back my tears, but watching them being this strong, smiling through it all, just reminds me that, you know what, life will really throw so many lemons at you. I think for her, it's like, when you were talking about August, I was just thinking from jumping from the frying pan into the fire itself. Yani, you move from one situation where you think you've conquered it and now everything is working out perfectly, and then boom, something else comes up and you're just thinking, God, what nilikosea wapi? You understand? So their story is a beautiful one, and I'm so happy that I've gotten a chance to share it with you guys, because I believe that there's someone out there who needed to hear this. There's someone out there who was clinging onto clutching onto a straw. And I believe that her story will change your life. I hope that you'll always remember that at the end of the day, no matter how many lemons life throws at you, you can always make lemonade out of it. True. And just emerge to the other side stronger than you were before. Even as you watch this, remember that there's a God in heaven, a God who loves you, a God who will always be on your team. Even when everyone, as she was saying, that some people walked out of that hospital and they were like, you know what, Paule, they thought you were gone. But even when all hope is lost, God is there, God is by your side, and he'll always remind you that he'll never leave you nor forsake you. Thank you so much for watching this show. Stay tuned for the next episode and stay blessed, and always remember that God loves you no matter what you go through. Till next time, goodbye.